the episode 2 of the VJ22L/M-SP.
That's recommission, restoration. And really that is the point of this video today. So Rob, the guy who owns the bike, has been having a think about it and he wants to go down the route of recommission only at the moment. So that's basically get the bike running, get everything working, anything that needs doing for the MOT, get that done, and a deep clean basically. So I'll be stripping all the plastics off, getting those buffed by my man who does the painting. He'll buff them up and get them looking as good as possible with no paint whatsoever. So there are a few obvious things that we need to do, but we're not going to go down the road of rezinking, repainting, vapor blasting basically. So if I run through the bike, I'll show you what on the surface needs to be done at this point. So back tyre is up, so we don't know how old it is, how long it's been on there. I can look at the date on it. But what we'll do is I'll grab the camera and we'll go around the bike and let's have a look what needs doing. So if we start at the front of the bike, the two main things you'll spot: front brake is absolutely solid, it won't push past there, and there's nothing there. So I would suggest there's a blockage, the pistons are seized in the caliper, and or other things. So that's priority on the list. Before we get to that point, you'll notice fork seals chucking oil out, and that's because you'll see the chrome's pitted. Doesn't matter too much down there as operation because only under really heavy braking, but those there are what's caused it. That's in the normal travel, but obviously they could fail an MOT, those ones down there anyway. So the biggest job on the bike really is to strip the forks and get the stanchions hard chromed. If we look round the other side, not quite as bad pitting at the front, but strangely at the side. So, and that's chucking oil out, like as you can see. So priority is get the front end out, get the forks out, get them stripped, get them off the chrome soon as, because they take 2 to 3 weeks to get re-chromed. And while we're doing that, while those are away, I can be sorting the brakes out, putting in a better front tyre, and we've got some tyres, decent ones, so a new front tyre on there, well not brand new but good second hand tyre. Obviously get the bike running is probably equal priority, which I'll do before I take the front end out. Excuse me, before I take the front end out. So that's today's job. I'll just be checking for decent spark. I'll just be checking for a decent spark. I'll have the carbs off, make sure they will be gunked up. I'll clean those out. I'll check the gearbox oil to make sure there's some in there. I'm pretty sure there will be, but I won't leave it to chance, and we'll get the thing running. So that's the two major jobs on the bike. Another big job is a deep clean. So inside, all down here, obviously you've seen me give it a degrease and a hose down, but we're going to go a bit deeper than that and clean up the engine, but we'll make sure the thing's running first. And then moving on after that, we're probably going to do strip plastics off and get them off to my painter. We've got 2 sets of plastics, so we're going to make the best of them. I'm pretty sure the spare we've got hasn't got that mess on the side, that scratching and crack. The rear shock is looking a bit furry, but look, I'll clean that up and we'll see what it comes out. All the nuts and bolts, there's no zinking going on. Even things that are really rusty, I'm just going to clean them up, maybe give them a white with some WD and see what it looks like. It's going to be a huge cleaning job as much as anything, this bike. And then we will need a battery so we can get the electrics working. I'll check through all the electrics once the battery, we've got a new battery for it. The electrics will work with the engine running, but it's better to put a new battery on. They start better, and they could damage something in the electrics without having a healthy battery on it. So that's another priority. But apart from that, that's where we're going to go with this bike. So it's a deep recommission, really. Make sure everything's working as it should. Make sure it'll get through an MOT, and what we have can look as good as it possibly can without any deep processes done to it. So it should be an interesting one. I mean, the rule of why we're doing this is basically Rob wants to keep patina and keep it original. You can always revisit the bike in the future and do a proper job on it, but the cost of that and the time is restrictive, and he wants to actually use the bike instead of just waiting for it and then looking at it when it's done. So I think it's a good idea, and it keeps an original bike. It looks okay initially. I mean, this shot here now, it probably looks quite a tidy bike, but then, as you've already seen, you go in tight and things are messy. That's what we'll say. Wheels, I'll give those a deep clean T-cut, see what they come up like. But yes, that's where I'm heading with this bike, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I have got the bike on the bench. I've had to take the front wheel out because the tyre was that flat, it was like square shaped. So I put a spare wheel in that I've got without discs, and that enabled me to push it up the ramp. I haven't got, my ramp has stopped going up and down through years of use. So yeah, I had to put that front wheel in so I could push it up with the ramp. Anyway, let's just have a look back here. So I have taken the battery out, which had 0.3 volts in it and was absolutely furry and rotten. Obviously I was going to replace the battery anyway, so no problem. So I've rigged up jump leads to, I'll just come around this side. I've got an old car, well it's I've got a Mercedes van. So it's a big old battery, so it's no good for the van for starting, but it holds loads of charge. And it's handy to keep in the workshop. So I've rigged that battery up. Then I've come round and they never cease to amaze me, these old Japanese. It's 30 Japanese bikes. It's 35 years old, this bike. and we don't know how long it's been stood. It's pretty furry, as you've seen. It's pretty furry. Anyway, so I've rigged the battery up and I've turned the key, and lo and behold, neutral light's working. Then I've tapped the horn. It works perfectly. Then I've gone, oh, indicators flashing perfectly. Let's go to the right. Oh yes. Well, what do you know? That is Japanese reliability, we'll call it. I'll just turn those off and then I'll put the lights on. So side light works, headlight works, does high beam work? Oh, it's on high beam. And low beam works. Look at that. High beam, low beam. Have we got a backlight? Let's just have a look. Oh yeah, we've got a backlight. And then this switch on me, I've just wedged it to keep the brake light off. So you can hear it clicking. It won't stay off. Oh yeah, we've got brake lights too. And a number plate board light. So I'm not going to get away with loads of bills for getting things working, am I? So everything works. I guess we put tyres on this, it would pass an MOT. Once it's running, we put tyres on it. In fact, the back tyre would pass an MOT. Doesn't matter how old they are. And the front tyre, let's have a quick look that I've just shoved in, the front wheel. Oh, we would get an advisory on that. Let's have a look. Look, we'd get an advisory. So I could probably get this bike running this afternoon on a dummy fuel tank. That's the one thing that's holding me back, because I can't get into the tank. But I could probably get this bike running and go and MOT it, despite what it looks like. Oh, it's tickled me. So, oh, right. So let me turn the lights off. Right. So it's going to be a bit hard to see. But down there, see the plug? Down there's the plug. Now, if I can hold steady enough, I've got, I don't know if you can see that. You can hear it. I've got a spark. So, therefore, with a battery and with fuel, this bike will run. All I need to do is I'm going to take the tank off and have a look at the carbs, which are bound to be furry and sludgy and horrible. So I'm going to take those off next, as a matter of course. I'll show you what they're like once I get them off. So this is the airbox lid with the filter in, and I've just taken the lid off, turned it over, and this will make you laugh. Let's get a finger. It's just dust. It's just, it looks perfect and it's turned to dust. You put a finger through it. Hilarious. So this bike has been sat for a long time. I'm going to guess at least a decade for that filter to go like that. At least a decade. Yeah, here we are at the, I've just taken the tank off and the airbox lid, so there's some dust from the airbox, the filter there. The fuel pipe snapped as soon as I lifted the tank, so that needs new rubber. But underneath, that is exactly how the wiring goes when they come out of the factory. So this bike is a true survivor. The rubber's missing off the tank. Somebody's had that away there. So we need to find one of those. Right, so I've got the carbs on the bench and I'm just about to drain the rancid, I'm going to call it rancid because it is a rancid fuel, because a little bit's leaked out and it stinks like varnish. So I'll just tip them over one at a time. I think if I just do, which one was leaking now? That one there. I don't think there's much in them, but what did come out absolutely stunk. There's a little few drops coming out. No, I don't think there's actually anything in them. So they're the Mikuni VM34SS twin solenoid 34mm carbs, and as you can see they are filthy, really dirty, furry on the outside, and I had to just quickly lever up that throttle slide from there because it was stuck. You can see how dirty the needle is. So all the fuel that was in there turned to varnish, which makes it all stick together. So I'm going to strip them down and then I'll show you the insides, see what they're like. I don't know myself yet until we get them apart. Okay. No wonder it stinks. Look at that varnish. That literally is varnish. It absolutely stinks. So I'm going to give these a rinse out with a bit of petrol, fresh petrol, and the jets, oh dear, completely blocked. Main jet's completely blocked, which means pilot jet might be beyond saving down that hole there. So I'll give these a good clean, and I'll clean the outside as well while I'm at it, and we'll see where that takes me. So it proved to be a bigger job than I thought, so you're going to have to wait till episode 3 to find out the outcome.